A big hello to you, my Rising World friend. Welcome back to an episode of Rising World. I'm Radio Man 03, and it is awesome to have you along. Look at this. We're getting ready to embark on a new adventure. I call it an adventure because we're going to build in an area I've never built in before. Build things we've never built before, at least I've never built before. And we're going to do it all on the videos. And I wanted to show you something. Do you see that over there? That's a bear. Got to watch out for him. We're going to kind of be in this area building, so I don't know how far he's going to wander, but you can see he's moving about a bit over there. That big old brown bear. I don't want to kill him. I kind of feel like I should take him out just because we're going to be in this area, but let's just see how far he wanders and see if he gets to us. This is the road to our waterfront. This is how you'll be entering town, the village. This is how you're going to be Spruceford Landing, for Pete's sake. This is how you're going to be getting in here if you're coming from the lake property. And I've got an idea for this, and what I started doing right here, oh, that's a crate. That's not what I wanted. I wanted my rake. I'm kind of ironing out the pathway down to it. As you can see, it gets kind of steep right through here, so I thought we'd just kind of go through here with the rake, knock this down, and see kind of what it is we're dealing with. Keep it as straight as we can, see what trees we can keep, what trees we've got to get rid of, and all that good stuff, and get kind of an area marked out for our next chunk. I'm pretty excited about this. I've been looking forward to it for a while, and I think it was Iwa who said, hey, you know what you should do? You should get started on the water property next. Okay. I'm ready for that. I would love to do that. I think we've played with the blocks enough and the styles enough that we've got some different ideas coming into my head. Hopefully you guys have got some more ideas coming into your head because you're playing the game too. And I don't want to knock those ferns out if I don't have to. Their ferns are far and few between, it seems like. There we go. I got that wood out of there. That's perfect. Did we get a maple sapling out of that? Oh, tell me we did. Tell me we got a maple sapling. I tell you that maple saplings tend to be kind of stubborn about coming in to the inventory. I chopped the maple tree down that was over by the smithy, and I moved it to the other side, over near close to the stable. So that tree is going to grow over there now instead, because that's going to be the road that goes up to, I'm going to say the Jarl's house. Do we say the king? I don't think it's the king. I think it's like the Jarl, right? It's the Jarl, the Lord. Yeah? Okay. We'll go with that. I don't know for sure. Hope everyone's doing fantastic. I am doing great. It is a Thursday, so my time to record is short, as you guys well know. It's my longer day at work. But nevertheless, I drove to work this morning, and, you know, Thursday is my longer drive to work, too. It takes me about an hour to get to work and an hour to get back. And I just sit there. I don't turn the radio on. I just sit there and I think about, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do next on the videos? And I love that time. It's just quiet. You know, when I'm driving down the road, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, so it's very early. There's not a lot of traffic out there, so, you know, it's just this nice, easy-going ride. And I got to thinking, I want a drawbridge out here. I want to mess around with the drawbridge. It looks pretty cool. I've never built one, and we're going to make sure that we can put one in. But before we can do that, we've got to get kind of a general idea as to what we're doing out here, right? I mean, that just makes sense. By the way, Condor Man says you can mine just like you can chop wood. If you swing your axe faster, keep clicking left click on the mouse, you can mine just as fast as I was showing you guys chopping down trees. So that is a good tip. So thank you, Condor Man, for that one. Not to mention, I really like that name, Condor Man. You know, in Arizona, not to change the subject as quickly as I always do, but we have the California, is it California condor? Yeah, California condor. They reintroduced the species. It was almost extinct. I mean, down to almost nothing. And they've been raising the young from hatchlings, of course, with the eggs. And they've reestablished a population in an area called the Vermilion Cliffs in Arizona. And it's this real beautiful location, and they just soar, you know, on these cliffs and stuff. They're these, you know, they're massive birds, just massive birds. I think they have a 7-foot wingspan. I mean, 7-foot wingspan. Think about how big that is. There goes one. Yeah, give me those tomatoes. It makes a wood choppy sound. That's pretty funny. It's not a wood choppy sound, but anyways, they've been real successful in reintroducing the California condor to Arizona, one of its home areas. You know, this is where it's from and grew up. And it was natural habitat. I'm using the wrong words here to describe this, but it's natural habitat. And it was almost gone. And the thing that almost killed it was lead poisoning from hunters, believe it or not. The hunters would shoot their game, and they would use lead buckshot to shoot that game, or lead ammo, and then, they clean the animal, and then they would dump the carcass or the guts off to the side. I know it's really, I hope you guys aren't eating right now, but they would dump the gut pile off to the side, and then these buzzards would come down and eat that gut pile, and they would get lead poisoning, and they would die. And of course, lead also would make their eggs weaker when they laid eggs and stuff like that, so that would be a huge issue. So anyways, they're reintroducing them, and they're asking hunters to not use lead ammunition anymore. And it seems to be paying off because they're back. So it's pretty cool. California condor. Look at this area here. This is some rugged terrain we've got here, isn't it? Now I think, and what was running through my head while I was driving to work today, would it be kind of cool to have, and this is inspired by Skyrim, every now and again along the road they've got these cobblestone walls. Just every now and again they've got these little cobblestone walls. Like they've been there for a long time, but chunks of it has disappeared, and this is the last piece that's left. And I feel like that might be kind of a cool thing to do. We don't have a lot of inventory space, though. We don't. We need to get this chest set down somewhere. Let's try to find an area down here. This is going to work for us right now. Let's not think about the road too much. We know the road is coming down this way. What I need to figure out is where I want the road to stop and the dock and the platform to begin. And I've got another idea too. I can actually put this in the water? That's not going to be a very good place for it. Let's see about putting it right up here. That's kind of out of the way. It's probably going to have to be moved again, but let's leave it there for now. Let's get that wood out of here. That wood. We got a bunch of stone on us. I've got some of this, what we've been using for the fireplaces. I brought some of that with me because I think that would be, well, let me explain. I kind of thought at first what I wanted to do was, and we don't need these guys right now either. We'll put those in here, and we'll put this in here, and put this in here too, and there we go. I think we have what we need. Take the rake out of there, put those up there. We got a little bit of lumber with us as well. I think what we first need to decide is, okay, this is where land stops and dock starts. And let's take a look up here and see what we've got. We've got a big, kind of a long stretch of landscape right here. But I think what I want to do, and what would be very interesting, is we have this little channel of water right here. Okay? This channel of water is what's got me thinking about the drawbridge. I feel like this is an area where runoff from the mountains would come down and kind of tap into this little channel right here, and then this water feeds into the larger lake. As we know, this is not a very big lake. We've walked all the way around it. It's not a huge lake, but I think it would be big enough to where a couple of people, maybe a couple of families, would do some daily fishing, and they would take their fish to the market, and they would sell whatever they would catch here, maybe walleye and bass and crappie and perch and bluegill and white bass, maybe striped bass, but this is what they'd catch, and trout and stuff like that. So I feel like a couple of families maybe set up residency over on this side of the lake, over here. So let's say the dock comes out to about here, but what we need to decide is just how high up is that dock going to be off the water. Because let's use our imaginations, and let's imagine that this is an area that eventually does receive a lot of moisture, say spring melt. Okay, the snow melting off the caps of the mountains that are over here in the distance. This water would come down in here and it would fill it up. And if you look at it, it almost seems natural that the water would probably come up to. We've got to watch out for that bear. We are getting real close to him. I really don't want to kill him, but I feel like I need to. Let's stay back right here. Up to about this level right here. It would get about this deep. You see where that peak is right there? It'd be about that deep, right in there. The water would go back in there a little bit, but this would fill up, and the lake would fill up a little bit more too. This tree that sits out here by itself, which is so beautiful by itself right there, it would be underwater, and maybe that's why there's no more trees right in that area, because it does flood right there, and the water does get deep, and the other trees just weren't strong enough to withstand that. But like the lake level would get up, I'm going to say up about this high. Let's go about this high. What do you think? I think that's a good idea. This is our other path that we were going to use originally, but that's not the one we're on right now. Where is our path? Mommy. Okay, it's way over here. Wow, okay, I was way off. Let's go. Let's do something like that. Okay, so now this is where our bridge is going to be to get across to the other side. Okay? We're going to go with this height right here. Assuming and using our imagination, again, that this area here would flood. There would be that much water coming in. This is going to allow us to use the drawbridge, and it's not going to look silly out here because it would serve a purpose. There would be times of year when you'd have to have it down, and you would want to bring it up as well, because boats would want to come back in here maybe and fish this area because it would be much larger. Right now, of course, no, you probably wouldn't be fishing back in here for much. But other times of the year you would. So, okay, so now we come across the bridge that leads over this beautiful little lake here, this little inlet. We come across, and now we're looking at this land over here. I thought it would be fun to bring the houses over onto this side with maybe just individual docks for the houses and have like a nice bridge across the water here, and maybe some kind of a retaining wall walkway that would just kind of stroll down this way. Okay? Maybe something like that. Instead of it being a bunch of dock all along here, have a bridge. A bridge would be fun to build. I've never built one on Rising World. We could make it really neat, and then, of course, have the drawbridge there as well. I'm picturing something with stone and wood combined together for the bridge. Over here, we're going to have a couple of houses. So again, we've got to keep in mind that the flooding, so the houses have to be up at about this level right here, and then maybe staircases that go down to the water's edge. And when it would flood, the water would come up. We'll make stone stairs. That way, when the water does come up, the stairs go underwater, but the fishermen can still walk down, and then the dock will be down here as well. Now, in Minnesota, we had docks that would lift and come up and go down with the water. I don't know if we can pull that off, or even that is something that they would even consider doing. I would think what they would do is they would have a boat down here by the water, and as the water was coming up, they would just drag the boat further and further up the shoreline until it was, out of the water and not in danger of being taken away. So we'll work on that when we get to it. But I think the first thing we want to do is get a bridge kind of figured out. And then really take into consideration what we want to do along here and just how far we want it to travel. So that's the game plan. This is kind of a picture this, if you will, episode with me, okay? Just kind of the ideas that are running through my head. The first thing we need to do is get this walkway kind of figured out, this roadway down to where the lake shore is going to start and the bridge leading over to here. Now you can see with the way that block is sitting, our line is going to be coming over this way, which works out pretty darn good because we come right over the top of this knoll. And boom, we've got a beautiful spot for a little house right here. And then I think we should have at least two houses with their own personal little gardens and maybe a second house. These guys would be oh God. What was that? Something. Sorry. Something made a noise. I feel like we were warned by a bear there. Okay. I don't know. There was a goat over here, I thought, but now maybe there's a bear. If there's a bear, we have to get rid of it. There is a bear. It's right there. Yeah, we're gonna have to get rid of that bear. Something must be wrong with the animals, huh? Must be something wrong with the animals. They don't seem to work right anymore. Something changed about them. Even the moose, remember the moose didn't attack us either? It was kind of weird. So, okay, we had a bear. There's usually two of them. It seems like there's always two bears. Oh, this is a beautiful spot back in here, isn't it? So, okay, back on track. Now that we got rid of the bear, we don't have to worry about the bear anymore. I feel like, yeah, back in here now. This land is very rugged, but as you know, we can shape a landscape to anything we want, so it's no big deal. We'll take some trees down we don't need. We'll put some other trees back in. But I feel like, yeah, a house sort of up in this area here, and maybe a second house. Oh, we got to give them a little bit of space, right? You don't want them crowding each other. Maybe another one right over here. And then that's going to bring our village over onto this part of the landscape, which I think would be really kind of cool and very, very neat looking. And then what else would we have? This is something for you guys. Euphoria, Tammy, you guys are really good about this. You've sent me so many ideas, and I need to go back in the comments and find them. But suggestions of the different types of buildings we should have in our village. God, it was an abundance. So I actually need to find those and probably print them out, copy and paste them onto some paper and print them out and hang them on my wall next to me here, just so I've got those in front of me. But yeah, some really great suggestions as to what we need. But I'm trying to think, okay, and maybe what I need to do is go and Google some medieval images, just say medieval docks, medieval fishery, medieval, fishing home, something like that, medieval bridges, and pull that up and take a look at some of the images there and see what they've got for pictures, so I can gather some more inspiration off of that. And I'll go back and find those comments with all the different suggestions of the buildings. We need to head back to town because it's getting dark. Don't want to be out here in the dark. We won't be able to see anything at all. The stars are coming out. Yeah, this is some rugged terrain. But I feel like the road to it, I want it to be kind of grand and have retaining walls and the gravel and the stone combo like we've learned now the last few episodes here. We want something like that. Of course, we'll grass this up again and put trees where they can be, but I think that's going to be a nice road heading out there. Chickens, they're staying in their box, and they love to dance. These guys, I don't know if they're just glitched together or what, but they dance a lot in there, a whole lot. Let's take a snooze in the end. Yeah. Oh, okay. While I'm taking this sleep, I mentioned last episode we were going to hang a sign. We probably won't get to it today, but Persperavon, am I saying that right? Persperavon suggested we name the inn The Old Moose. The Old Moose. And I like that. I think I do. I like it because he said just because we've got the moose up here on the wall, but The Old Moose. The Old Moose Inn. I think that sounds pretty good. Instead of Spruceford, instead of naming it after the town, give it a different kind of name. Thank you. So The Old Moose. Thee, Old Moose. Do I put an E at the end of old? The Old? I think I do, huh? I think I put an E at the end of that. Yeah. All right, let's go back out here and talk some more about this. I feel like eventually we are going to have other structures that lead up to this waterfront. I mean, I see structures all the way up to here that are going to look down over this, because I think we could have some really beautiful views up here, right? I mean, right here, a house, whew, prime real estate right here looking down over the lake, and then you'll be able to see the bridge and stuff like that. I think that would be pretty cool. This is going to take some time to put together too, you guys. I hope you're patient, because this is going to take a little bit of time to put together. I want to do this right, and I want to get a little more artsy-fartsy with it, I guess is what I'm looking for. A little more artsy-fartsy and a little more decorative. And we've learned quite a few things with the blocks, but I think I've come up with other ideas in my head I want to experiment with when we get out here. And number one is going to be the bridge. And the bridge is going to represent kind of the town itself, the village. Excuse me one second. Okay, I'm back. I feel like the bridge needs to really represent the town, especially the wall and the Jarl's house that's going to be going up at the other end of town past the smithy. The bridge is going to kind of represent what some of the major structures are going to be built like, and the people of the town, their skills, their talents. It's going to represent that. Why do these guys only grow in ones? It seems like they're very, very tough to find. Those red flowers. I really wish there was. Oh, here's some more. Cool. I know flowers distract me. That's okay. They're pretty. I've been looking for some of those red ones to splash around down by the inn. So I think that's great. We've got a few anyways. A few more blue ones too. They only seem to be in the spruce biomes. Well, let's get some water real quick. Oh, and I got a watermelon. Perfect. So I want to get creative with the bridge. I want to get it to look really nice. With the wood on top of the bridge, it's going to have to be pretty rustic because the wood that's attached to the drawbridge is very old, kind of like the door that we have on the outhouse and the door that we have onto the feed and tack there back behind the stables. It has sort of that feel to it, and it's very old. So I feel like I see in my head, and we're gonna get started on this in the next, God, I would say probably, I don't know how many episodes. I don't want to set myself up for that because it could take more, it could take less. I mean, it could just all of a sudden come to me and just start snapping together. But the next 10, 12 episodes, we're going to have this bridge built. And then I do want to get at least one house built over there with the boat and stuff like that, and get it kind of figured out. So when we come this way, we can always come back to this area and build a second house, maybe a third, maybe a fourth. Who knows? This is our area, and this is an extended Let's Play. And as they release updates to the game, we can experiment with that stuff here with our village, Spruceford Inn or Spruceford Landing. We can practice that stuff on all of this, and it'll be really fun, I think. But it's going to take a little time for me to get this taken care of. I can see right now that this bridge is going to come out and go over there. We need to build a drawbridge, get the measurements from it, and then make sure we leave ample space for that. So the bridge is actually probably going to come out to about here, I would say. And then there'll be a gap where we will have the drawbridge, and then of course the bridge will resume on the other side. The trick is going to be getting that drawbridge to mesh with everything and look like it fits there. I think we can do it. I think it's going to be cool. But at the same time, like I said earlier, the bridge should be able to go up. So in case the water's high or whatever, I've been trying to find a reason as to have a drawbridge. We're going to have one up at the Jarl's house. That's undeniable. When you will go up the staircase to the Jarl's house, you're going to have to stop at a gate. You're going to have to get a drawbridge brought down for you and then cross the drawbridge to get into the Jarl's property because it would be very heavily protected. But over here, I think it would be kind of fun to have one just for fun. And then the imagination part is just in case the water gets high enough for boats to go through, someone would be able to lift and lower that drawbridge for them. What we could even do is have a drawbridge on this side and one on that side, and make it like, the drawbridges that one goes up this way, one goes up that way, and then the big ships go through, and then they both come back down again, and then, cars travel back and forth across them. So we could do a double one. That's not out of the question. That might actually be kind of fun and look pretty cool on both sides. And then we could decorate the mechanics of the drawbridges as well. Maybe I'm rambling on here, but I just want to run this past you guys like I always do. You've always got such great feedback and tips and ideas that, I don't want to not give you the opportunity to do that because it's just, it's so much fun. We're having a really good time. I'm glad you guys are having a good time. I got to tell you, I'm having a blast with you playing Rising World. It's just, I look forward to it. Every time I sit down to play Rising World, I really look forward to it. It's been a lot of fun. And the amount of freedom we have in building in here and coming up with interesting creations is a major plus. And then you add this beautiful backdrop and all these gorgeous trees and stuff. And I mean, I just feel like I'm right at home. But that's my idea. We'll keep the video kind of short, although it's probably too late for that because it is me, radio, and this is what I do. But let me know what you think of that. We're going to start off by getting the road installed, and we're going to get this road looking real sharp right down to the bridge. Then we're going to get the bridge across, and we'll decide at that time, do you guys think 2 drawbridges? One coming out from that side, one coming out from this side? I mean, can you have too many drawbridges? They're pretty cool. And then once we get that put in, we'll do a little path that leads over to a fisherman's little house. Maybe it's a single guy. Maybe it's just a single guy that lives out here, and he's got his boat, and he's got a little dock out here, and he goes fishing, and that's his thing. Maybe we don't even use the imagination of the water getting high. We just have drawbridges here because sometimes they're necessary. If someone was going to come and attack the village, we could pull the drawbridges up, and now they got to drag all their stuff through the water. I don't know. But that's kind of where I'm going with it. So let me know what you think. Welcome to the new subscribers. It really is fantastic to have you on board. I'm so glad you signed up. As I always say, we've got a great group of people in here, a really great group. Don't be shy. Leave a comment. Even if it's just a hello, just check in with me. Let me know you're there. I respond to all the comments, so I appreciate those very much. Like, comment, subscribe, and share on the Radio Man 03. I want you to have an awesome, fantastic, and superb day. I truly mean it, and I look forward to talking to you again next time.